Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Putri amaliasikin. I'm from Faculty of Law, Pasundan University, and today I want to talk about criminal law, especially a sample case from criminal law. Okay, the first I want to talk about definition of criminal law. What is the meaning of criminal law? Criminal law, the body of law that defines criminal offense, regulate the apprehension, charging, and trial of suspected person, and fix penalty and mode of treatment applicable to convict offenders. And now we're talking about a criminal case and an analysis. I want to talk about murder case. A wooden box containing human remains was found in the Batam Center area, Balau Permai Village, Batam City, Riau Island, March 3rd. This discovery was reported by a resident to the nearest police station. When the 1.5 meter long box was opened, the man's body was lying face down and could not be. A city police forensic team and the Batam City police sector suspect that the victim died as a result of violence. According to head of forensic Poltabs, Dr. Navita, the victim's head had several missing bones. In addition, on the chest, there is also a rectangular wedge. We did not find the rest of the internal organ tissue, said Novita. There's also a cut in the calf. A day later, the identity of the corpse was identified as Fahmi Iswandi, 30. This case was resolved after Batam City Police officer evacuated. At the time, the head of the Batam City Police, AKP Suka Irwanto, suspected that someone in the crowd was Harun. After being arrested, Harun admitted he has killed his childhood friend, Fahmi, because Fahmi claimed to have invulnerable knowledge. Now, to prove Fahmi's immunity, Harun conducted an experiment by hitting Fahmi's head with a hammer. The murder took place at 12 o'clock at night. At the time, Harun woke Fahmi who was sleeping and asked Fahmi to take a peek at people who were dancing in the bushes behind their residence, the wild housing area in front of SLTP 12, the Legend of Malacca area, Batam City. He got up and come with me. At the time, he only wore short, no clothes, said Harun. Harun took Fahmi to the bushes. Fahmi several times asked about the position of people who were dating. Harun pretended to beg off. With this position, Harun, who had previously prepared a hammer, was free to beat Fahmi's head. He immediately fell. Had screamed once. Blood hit my face. Did I go wash my face first? Said Harun. After raising his face, Harun came back and hit Fahmi's head 3 times. Harun claimed to have killed the victim last October 2009. After killing, the suspect then took Fahmi's internal organ to eat. For several months until March 3rd, 2010, the perpetrator kept the victim's body. And now the analysis. According to the case, the perpetrator were charged with 314 criminal charge of attempted murder, Article 314 KUHP. Anyone intentionally and with a plan first rob another person of life is threatened for a premeditated murder with a death of life sentence or specified time 20 years at the most. The element contained in Article 314 of the Criminal Code concerning premeditated murder are: whoever is a legal subject, where the legal subject who can be held accountable according to criminal law is a natural person, that is, a human being. According to the doctrine, a crime is attached to the perpetrator. Human who can be held accountable are anyone by people with exception regulate by several articles in Book 1 General Rules, Chapter 3. In the case, Harun can be held accountable because he is the sole perpetrator, in which he admits that he killed Fahmi, and Harun does not meet the exception stipulated by several articles in Book 1 of the General Rules, Chapter 3 of the Criminal Code. Deliberately, the perpetrator has the will and conviction to cause certain consequences that have been regulated in legislation driven by the fulfillment of laws. In the case, the perpetrator had the will and the conviction to hit a hammer on Harun's head, so that Harun died because he was motivated by the motive of wanting to know the truth of Harun's confession, which stated that he had invulnerability, where the crime was regulated in Article 314 of the Criminal Code concerning premeditated murder. In the last, by planning in advance, it means that there is a time lag between planning and action that allow for systematic planning first and then followed by action. In this case, it was not explained about the planning time and the time of the action, but it was explained that beforehand the perpetrator prepared a tool, namely a hammer, which indicate the perpetrator's intention to take the victim's life. In addition, based on the chronology of event signs, the victim was awakened from sleep until the victim was tricked into following the perpetrator into the buses and then killed. It is a chronology that occurred as a result of having been tricked about beforehand. Maybe just enough for me. Thank you for your attention and I'm sorry for my mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.